this exchange with Luann. Now, this has caused you to make your announcement that you've taken some time off of social media.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, pains me because I do follow your every move on social media, Eboni. So, but this is not about me, and I will step back.
I love it.
I will let you have your much needed space. But was that like a hard decision? Like, what prompted that decision?
It was hard and it was easy. It was hard in the sense that, like yourself, we're talkers, we're thinkers, we want to be a part of the narrative. And obviously, I knew when these episodes landed, as has come to pass, there was going to be a lot of conversation and it was going to hit the national discourse. And it has, and will continue to do more so once episode 6 drops. I mean, they were literally talking about it on The View. And I think having a very robust and important conversation about a couple of the issues our episodes spotlight. And it was cool too, because, I used to work with Meghan McCain at Fox News. And as she graciously mentioned, we were often very competent sparring partners. And, the nature of the work we did there didn't allow for a lot of just kind of warm, fuzzy connection because we were doing very, very high stakes work. But it was really nice to hear my former colleague, Meghan McCain, be so just warm and gracious around her experience with me professionally and personally. And more importantly, again, having this amazing discourse amongst women around these issues of stereotype and microaggression and really just womanhood in general. So what was hard was staying out of those conversations, right? Because that's what I chose to do by extracting myself from the social media. So I was like, I want to say this, I'm thinking this, but knowing more important than my personal prerogative around this stuff at this point is creating the space for there to be a much needed debrief that extracted me as an individual, because it's so not about me, David. This is not about me. And to be clear, this is not about Luann. This is about a much bigger need for women of color and our white sisters to get to a more truthful, authentic place of coexistence and beyond even coexistence, which I think is such a minimal standard, right? To a place of really understanding, seeing, and celebrating each other. In those differences and those cultural uniquenesses that I think make us so special and amazing towards each other. So that part was hard. What was easy was to take the break to choose me over the chaos, to choose me over the scrutiny, to choose me over the snark and some of the dark, ugly places that we know social media can go. And seeing the young Titan Naomi Osaka choose herself with much higher stakes than my platform, it really just affirmed that it was the right thing to do.
Well, I agree with that, and hopefully you'll be back soon. Speaking of Meghan McCain, would you ever, I mean, I know you're a little busy now with lots of other things, including RHONY, would you ever join The View if they reached out to you to join?
The View is an institution. I mean, I am an old school Barbara Walters, 2020 fan. I mean, it's an incredible platform. I guess the short answer is that would be something I would be extremely excited to have a conversation about, because the topics on there are so important. I think the conversation of people that do have different points of view. And David, here's the hard part, right? The ability to sit with one another's perspectives without sitting to respond, but sitting to listen. Going back to that skill we learn in law school, the ability to listen and not just only be stuck in your argument, but be open to just some level of fluidity in your thinking, in your unconscious bias. So I think all of those things are pretty unique opportunities on a platform like The View and could be interesting.